Welcome, everybody, to the XoneBros. This is your positive gaming and Xbox community. And if you're tuning in to us live right now, it's because you chose to come have fun instead of watch the presidential debates, which I can guarantee you. They might be pretty entertaining this year. Who knows? But gaming is always better.
You know what they should do with presidential debates? I've been thinking about this week.
Yeah, give it to me.
They should put them, both candidates, or however, both candidates, they should put them through the old wipeout courses.
Wipeout?
Yeah, you remember Most Extreme Elimination?
Wipeout.
And if you complete the course, you get to express your political opinion.
If you complete the part. So it's like boxing chess?
Yeah. That would actually probably, I didn't think about that.
Before every answer, before you're able to answer, you have to complete some kind of task.
But you remember Most Extreme Elimination? And have those same guys that dubbed over the Asian guys do it too. You know?
That would be great.
And then if you complete the course, you get to tell us what your plan for the economy is.
Yeah, you're going to tell us you have 1 minute to speak to us. 2 minutes, uninterrupted.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be good.
Yeah, I'd see that would let you know who the real.
I'd tune into that.
Yeah, a lot of people would.
We could also do interior car combat, like you showed me before, like where they have to get in their seatbelts.
Car MMA.
Interior car MMA. That would be awesome. Do you know how much more interesting things would be if that's exactly what we were doing? That would be great.
Yeah, it'd be like in the old days where they say, "Hey, you pick one fighter, we'll pick one fighter."
Well, you can do anything. Just have like a paintball game, like just. All right, he won. Okay, now you can say, tell us what you think about airlines. I don't know.
I think the majority of America would actually...
The most civil would be darts.
Just bar games?
Yeah, bar games. Bar games. Yeah. And bar trivia. Darts and pool. A hand of poker.
That's a hand of poker.
Hopefully we get to the point where we live in a civilized age where that actually happens.
That would be fun. That would be fun. Or try to complete Takeshi's Castle.
Takeshi's Castle's the original. That's what they dub over on Most Extreme Elimination.
Oh,
that's the original show.
Neil Steven, welcome. Everybody, thank you for tuning in. If you like the show, if you like what we're doing here, come and join us on YouTube. Become a member. Support the show. Also, rate, review, and subscribe to us over on Spotify or Apple Podcasts. Your support is greatly appreciated. Thank you very much. Last week, we talked about MLB The Show and sports games, and I jumped in this week. And actually, Jordan, watch me. How good does it look, by the way?
It looks really good.
Yeah, it's amazing. And I jumped into the card games, and I do think this is the best card game. It's called Diamond Dynasties of all of the Madden Ultimate teams, FIFA Ultimate Team, blah, blah, blah. NBA 2K has one. And initially, I was like, oh, wow, this is amazing. They don't allow you to buy card packs. I was wrong. They do.
Yeah, it's just in the menu.
Yeah, it's just deeper in the menu. So you can still buy card packs, and I'm against that. I'm just against that. Like, it completely demotivates me. See, it's the difference in Hearthstone. You own and can use those cards for forever. Maybe not in like tournament play, but for forever they're yours. Whereas in these yearly sports games, if you let me keep my cards for forever, and I could use them or whatever, I'm golden. Or I could burn them, like you say, and craft new cards in next season. But I cannot, I'm sorry, spend money on packs
every year.
So after the year, then they go obsolete, or do you use them in their burns?
No. So every year they come out with a new game. Those cards don't transfer to the new game. So you still have them in the old game, but no one plays that anymore because the new game's out.
So why drop a ton of money? And I was reading posts on like Madden Ultimate Team, FIFA Ultimate Team, etc. And people drop that. I am sure the money, I don't know, I should Google it. I'm sure the money made from these is insane.
No, I think the sports department funds 90% of EA.
Yeah.
Supports.
Oh, and Apex probably.
I think these card packs, especially FIFA, I actually think FIFA funds 90% of EA.
The difference, though, in Diamond Dynasty is they do a really good, like, you basically can earn everything, and they do a good job. Everything you do in the game gives you experience towards those cards. It's very well done. Also, what they do, because over the years, baseball mechanics have changed how you, like, with a controller. And so there's like 5 different ways. And there's to pitch, for instance. They let you, when you first play that game, when you first set it up, they let you try out all the different ways, and then decide for you how you want to play. That's very nice too. You don't get that in FIFA or Madden.
Yeah,
they make a change, you're stuck with that change. So it's really well done. I will say, Sony Studios, what is it, San Diego studio that does this? Well done. MLB The Show 24 is just a fantastic game. Period. It's very well done. Hey, co-op too, guys. We should.
Is it?
Yeah, co-op, a lot of co-op. There's co-op league. There's leagues where you can run co-op. There's online co-op. There's co-op. We could go. I'm doing March to October. So basically, it fast forwards through games and then puts you in like key moments, and then fast forwards and you're trying to get to the playoffs and then to play the playoffs, and it's just very, very well done. So MLB The Show, everybody. I mean, I know it's been out for a while, but it's fun. It's a lot of fun.
And that game, does that come out every year?
Yeah.
So it's 24.
And so see, yeah, someone in chat, someone somewhere, tell me, why should I buy? Like, I just don't understand. But I understand them in a Hearthstone or a Marvel Snap. Like, you can't buy them in Marvel Snap, but you can buy the tokens that then let you go and get cards. You have them for forever, or Magic the Gathering or Pokemon, right? I don't understand if Hearthstone came out and we were on Hearthstone 25 right now, or 24, and next year Hearthstone 25 came out and it's a whole new batch of cards, would you buy any cards? Like,
so here's the deal.
Give it to me.
Yeah.
Also, keep in mind before I start, one more thing. You're also paying $70 for this game every year as well.
Yeah. Yeah, I know. Last week I was saying how much of a scam that was, or I implied it at least, because that's...
Oh, I think you said it.
Did I? Okay, because that's crazy to me. Just think that. But let's go cons and pros.
Give me cons. Give me pros.
The pros of having that in Hearthstone would be the game would be extremely balanced. Because they can balance it every time.
Well,
every year.
They technically already do via the standard format. Like, that's how Magic balances, and that's how they all balance, is they have a standard, which is a select set of cards, which are usually the new cards. And then Hearthstone finally added the wild a long time ago, which was great because then you can use all your old cards and blah, blah,
yeah, blah. But 2 years, when you have 2 years of cards coming out, and there's 4 expansions per year, it gets very difficult at the end of that to balance everything. Like, you can look at like the power level of cards from the beginning till now. It's like here's the camera there. It's nuts. And,
I have maybe something that people may disagree with, but I think the reason Hearthstone has balance issues is more so due to the hero classes and how cards interact with hero classes and how hero classes work.
For sure, yeah.
And I think that's what struggles the balance. I mean, I think for the most part, the game's pretty
nah.
in standard, you know?
Nah. They're nah.
I mean, I guess there is dominant classes, but...
Well, not just there has never been a perfectly balanced Hearthstone season.
Yeah.
And so that's the pro to what I'm saying is if you have it cut off every year,
it's a hard reset.
It's far more easier to balance everything with card games. But I don't know how these work, like how a sports card game. I don't even understand. I've never.
So baseball's got it down to pat because baseball cards are just a thing. So, and they nail it. And I'll tell you what they get. They just get it's a fantastic carrot on a stick progression. And they let you put them in collections. When you put them in collections, you get boosts. So you get studs or you get experience. And those are the two currencies you use to then get cards. When you put cards in a collection, that you can no longer sell those cards. They're permanently yours. So you can't sell them on the marketplace to other players for the in-game currency. It's just a really well thought out system. And all the card games have that to a certain extent.
Well, so Hearthstone kind of has... It's 2 years instead of 1 year because, like Jordan was saying, they have Wild, which allows you to play older cards,
which is expected to be unbalanced because it's just like
they just
same with Magic. It's just like, hey, use whatever you want.
Yeah. But they have a cutoff for tournament play and for actual play where every 2 years they cut off the most recent season. So, that's how they balance it. Where this. It sounds like it's every one season, and it's just without Wild. Or 1 year, sorry. And it's just without Wild. So, I disagree with having a $70 game and that.
Yeah, that I think like
That's
have
like
it
nuts.
or have it as a standalone that maybe like a permanent standalone game that then maybe permanently that every season with the new MLB then complements the like game. I guess you couldn't have it
Because you'd get out of balance.
It ties into the game. Like you're using these cards to put together your team, and then you go and play like the normal game plays in online against other
What if
people.
they had like what Hearthstone has, where they have in Magic or whatever, they have a basic set that is permanently in forever. So you have like 100 cards that once you get it, it is forever in any game going forward.
I mean, the difference here is though your cards are based on players in the league, and so as players retire or don't retire,
Yeah, but
like,
some
you couldn't
players
really do it.
last.
Well, and they
25
have
years.
like they have classic players too.
But then also your player's score is based on like
I
how
think-
they're doing that year and the statistics, and so that it very ebbs and flows. It's not like there's a goblin that's always a goblin and will always be a goblin that you could do.
I don't like how any of them do it with the yearly thing, but I think the only thing you really could do is just, depending on what your deck is at the end of that year, they give you a X amount of currency for the new year.
Yeah.
But the point is not to do that because they make a lot of money off of this.
Oh yeah. Well, I mean, it's
This thing
it's
is-
fun. Don't get me wrong.
is
This complaint
designed
is
to
not
make
saying
money.
that it's not fun and that it's just this part that is a mental block for me to fully dive into
Let me
the
help you,
card side of games.
David, let me help you
Give it to me.
get past that.
Give it to me.
You get a full year of playing with those cards.
Yeah, that's true.
So you're paying money.
I mean,
to
if
smile.
it's your only game, maybe, but I don't know. It's a lot.
Yeah.
Anyway, it's like Diablo
Just-
4. It's literally designed, or Diablo Immortal. It's literally designed to make money.
just buy them in January.
Well, we were going through it. George's like, just get the $90 pack. That's the best deal. I was like,
Yeah, because they tell you.
they tell you it's the best deal.
What really annoys me about this game, like all card games, all microtransactions, every game does it. It's so stupid. They say, hey, this is $20, but we're gonna give it to you for $16. So it's $16. It was never $20.
But
It was
it's the
that you
same-
literally.
But it makes you feel good about your choice.
Yeah, it's
the same as
it's
when you
that
get pulled
psychology,
over. It's
you
the
know?
same as when you get pulled over by a cop and he's like, I'm going to do you a favor here. I caught you going 20 over, man. I'm going to do you 10. It's like, no, you didn't.
This is
You're not
why-
doing me a favor. Every police officer just doing me a favor. And it's not. You're
What
just-
a favor
it's
would be
that
not
I'm
giving me that ticket.
It's so that I'm not mad at you.
Well, this is why Overwatch is almost banned in Australia, because they had those discounts on the skins, but they never
But they never
charged
had the
that
real
full
price, yeah.
Anyways,
It's like it was
And
never
Australia's
$20.
legislation does not allow that.
Oh,
And so-
discount?
Well,
No, they
don't
you
allow-
can't fake discount something.
yeah.
Oh.
Because
Oh,
it's
so they-
not a discount because they're saying they're giving it to you for 16, but
they
originally it
never
was 20.
char-
But
they
they
never
never charged
charged the
20.
20?
Yeah.
It's a brand new skin that says it's $20, but now it's $15.99.
I actually am not against that. But you could make the argument like, well, this is internally what we value it at, so we are giving it to you at a discount.
no, you're not, because if they valued it at $20, they'd sell it to you for $20.
It
They
was never
value
at
it
that
at,
price.
they value it at 15, but they just say it was 20.
I know. I mean, that's in textiles, whatever, clothing.
Yeah.
They do that all. That's like how they make money.
Yeah.
Is they MSRP at $200 and sell it for $50, and it costs them $1 to make.
Shall we jump into the giant news of the day, and I think is absolutely huge, is Amazon and Xbox have signed a partnership, which is really interesting. Not signed a partnership, but the partnership is real. It's happening. It's here. It's hot. And what that is Game Pass. Xbox is now able to be streamed through Amazon Fire TV sticks. And this is huge. This puts
The
Game Pass-
Xbox app will be natively on the Fire
so
Stick.
prior to this, it was just in Samsung TVs natively and only select Samsung TVs. Granted, this is only right now in 2 Fire Sticks, so the Fire Stick TV 4K Max and the Fire Stick 4K,
So the newer ones.
which is at $49.99 and $59.99 each. I actually, as a result of this, I went and bought a Fire TV Stick 4K Max. It's coming tonight. I'm very excited to go test it. My entire setup is in other rooms, so I'm going to put it up to my TV and say, okay, let's see how this works. Let's see what this does. And it's going to be very interesting.
If you hardwire your TV, it might actually. Well, no, because you can't hardwire the Fire Stick. Never mind.
Here's the thing. I have been testing cloud gaming a lot with the Portal, number one, the streaming, with on my iPad doing Game Pass via cloud streaming. So I'm going to be very interested to see how this performs, what this does. That way, regardless, I think it's smart. I think this is exactly, people are like, no one's going to subscribe to Game Pass. Yeah, it's way easy to take your subscription service now and tack it into something
Everything
like
else,
Amazon
yeah.
Prime or Amazon Fire TV Stick and be on every television. Like, that is...
Yeah.
You just open up your customer base, and guess what? It's a lot easier to pay $15 a month than it is to pay $499 for an Xbox Series X.
Yeah. Well, and you get the people that like, oh yeah, okay, we'll play Big Kitty or
Yeah.
whatever. It's easier to buy because it's just there.
Well, and also, if I have kids and I'm like, do I drop for Christmas this, or do I just drop
give them the cloud.
Game Pass on the cloud?
Well, most people already have a Fire Stick.
Yeah, a lot of people have a Fire Stick.
And
yeah.
most people, because they already have a Fire Stick, realize how sucky Fire Sticks actually are.
I had a Fire Stick. It was out of all the ones I had the Chrome, Roku, and Fire Stick. Well, the Fire Stick was the best one.
I remember when they came out with the Cube, the Fire Cube.
Yeah,
I had the Cube as well.
You have it for a year, and then it gets bloated with something.
Yeah, it does get bloated. That's true.
I think Amazon. This is my conspiracy theory. I think they purposefully slow it down and bog it up, so you'll buy the
new
next version.
But
of it.
remember,
The Gen 3.
I mean, that's what Apple was doing with their phones and their battery life. They were
And
purposely.
Samsung, it's shady, man. And I actually, so I had a Fire Stick in this. I actually had a Fire Cube in this room behind us, right over here.
Okay.
And I switched to an Xbox Series S because it was not that much more expensive, and it had way more teraflops, and I have never had problems with that.
Mm-hmm. Did you have problems with you had the Cube?
I had the original Fire Stick, then like the 4K next gen Fire Stick, then the Cube. And all of them had issues. I throw on a Series S. It is the best Fire Stick there is.
And it has the Xbox app on
I
it.
want to see. I want to see what is all the options now, because I just use my TV now. I haven't.
Well, and that's what I was wondering with it. Like, I know there's a ton out there, but I'm curious, like, how many people are buying new Fire Sticks. I wonder if this is just the first step into Amazon's ecosystem.
Yeah, because maybe then it's included just in the built-in Prime. I don't think so. I would imagine this gives you more control over it. Let's see. Okay, so here's the Fire Stick TV devices. Fire Stick TV, basic, $39.99. Fire Stick Lite is $29.99. Don't know what the difference is there, but I'm not getting anything called Lite. Yeah,
my guess as well is the reason it's only on the two new ones probably has something to do with the Bluetooth connection for the controller.
Yeah. Yeah, the 4K and the Max. I mean, I bet you...
the proprietary Wi-Fi that they use.
Well, I bet you it's because for 4K... Well, and what 4K and Max have is Wi-Fi 6 and 6E.
Yeah, but I'm talking about the controller. It's
it's
a proprietary Wi-Fi connection.
Oh, I see.
I'm sure maybe the controller can
I'm
only
curious
connect
on performance on this because...
Yeah, that's why I bought it. I'm gonna fire it
did?
up. I bought it today. It's coming. It was supposed to be here already, but our Amazon guy sucks the high heaven sometimes.
I gotcha. I would be surprised if you don't have any issues.
The problem is...
no, I fully expect streaming issues, but is it better than my iPad? If it is, but that's the better, and it's on my TV, that's the better way to play.
I predict your iPad will be better.
You think so?
Well, here's the thing: is because I feel like the best way to do it is through the Samsung TVs, because you can directly connect the TV, so you're limiting your amount of wireless. Right? When I cloud game, I want the only wireless connection to be between the cloud and me. I don't want it to be cloud, me, then my router, because that just adds, Yeah,
Wi-Fi is the variable.
I want to know if there's a problem, it's 100% on their end,
This is true.
Yeah.
This is true. So, yeah, I'm very curious about it to see how it will do. Irregardless, you can see this is the path forward, and you can see how they're going to grow.
Oh, 100%. Yeah.
With stuff like this. What does PlayStation do now? That's my
The
next
biggest
question.
problem with cloud gaming is that everything is on Wi-Fi.
Yeah.
That's the biggest problem because Wi-Fi is so unpredictable. Wi-Fi is not consistent. There are always issues with Wi-Fi. Therefore, you could have the best tech in the world behind the Wi-Fi on the other end of your router. But because of how many problems Wi-Fi introduces to any system, the cloud will always be flawed.
See, and that's why I would want to limit that by like. I think
LAN.
the better way to do it is through a Samsung TV because that TV can be directly connected. You know what I mean? So you still have Wi-Fi between you and the cloud, but you can limit all the other.
I gotcha.
You know what I mean? So
Yeah. But at that point, just plug in an Xbox.
but well. So I mean,
Yeah, but I mean, if it's built
But
into your
but
TV,
that's- here's the thing, though. I don't
not on
think-
a train or on a bus playing games.
well,
That's-
that's true.
yeah. But see, because I don't think cloud gaming is marketed towards me, right? Like, because I would rather buy the Xbox and have. I think cloud gaming is marketed for.
more
Be
casual.
honest, yeah, like your wives or people that are taking the train to work or taking. You know
here's
what
the
I
thing.
mean? Like phone.
Well,
gamers,
here's what's nice.
How do I say?
Here's
Because
what's nice. You just throw this thing in a suitcase with a controller if you're traveling.
like, let's take your wife for example, right? She plays a lot of Candy Crush. How easy is it for a person like that to say, oh, well, I'll subscribe to Game Pass and play all the new Peggle games, or you know what I mean? I think that's an easy transition for that style of gamer.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean?
No,
And I
exactly.
think that's who it's marketed to.
Because you're not going to have very much issues with a Peggle or a Tetris.
Well, but
necessarily.
that no,
Tetris,
I'm
yes,
just
you will,
I'm just
because
using
Tetris is very Twitch.
I'm just using that as an example,
input
but
sensitive.
that's who I think it's like people that play like someone who plays Diablo Immortal on their phone as their primary device. Cloud gaming is for them. Like that's
No, I would say it's for everybody that wants to play outside of their house.
Or maybe you have a Series X as your hub, and you sometimes just want to go upstairs and play,
Yeah.
or on your other TV in your bedroom, and you don't want to have to disconnect everything all the time.
But
And
what
that's
I'm saying is I don't think they're trying to get our money. I think they're trying to get
I think they're trying to get everyone's money.
well, yeah, but they're trying to grow. So how easy is it for a phone gamer, people that play a lot of games on their phone, to translate to the Xbox?
Okay,
app?
but here's the thing: we're acting like streaming sucks, and it doesn't suck. It's not as ideal, but it's like 90% of the way there.
yeah.
To me, it does. Because if it's barely unplayable, it's fully unplayable.
Okay, fair enough.
The people that listen to this show were gamer power users.
Yeah, no, true. I mean, there's some games that you would just never play that way, but for convenience, for instance, our cousin is playing Forza on his TV straight into the Game Pass app on his Samsung.
Yeah.
Yeah, but he's
And
not
he-
a power user.
Yeah, and he otherwise,
I don't know. His level in Forza was pretty high.
He was in the
I was
900s.
like, and he tried to tell me like, "Oh yeah, I just played." No, you didn't. And you're like, almost 1,000. What are you talking about?
I just fire it up for 5 minutes is all.
What?
Like
No,
it's like 500 hours in.
No, but see, I think that's like now he's a Game Pass subscriber because he got a Samsung TV. He was like, oh, that was the whole story. He got a Samsung TV and he was like, oh, there's an Xbox app, and it was like, connect your controller. He was like, okay. And then all of a sudden he was in playing all these games, and he immediately subscribed.
Yeah, it's
Because
much
that's,
easier
it's
to
just
sell that than a console. Like it's interesting. It's going to be interesting to see how this plays out. Regardless, I think it's a fantastic move. I think it makes sense for both Amazon, who's wanting to get into the game business. It makes having a Fire TV stick more valuable, gives them more options and features, and I think it works for Xbox. It's a mutually beneficial deal here. So it's exciting. I think it's going to be interesting to see how it plays out long term here.
I think this is funny. Like, from right to left, I mostly dislike it. You highly like it, and then Jordan's in the middle.
I just don't think it's for like targeted at me. Like I would rather play.
And I wouldn't say
on a-
dislike. It's just, it's not there yet, so it's not there at all.
Yeah, no, it's definitely not. It's like 90%.
Well, yeah, and that's
there,
what I think.
for
If they can get that last 10%, whoever they have to
that would be
hire to get that
phenomenal.
last
I would
to get
love
that
that.
last, because it's really good. And even when you use like things like Parsec to
Yeah.
stream, like it's good. And you even did it while you were on a trip. Like it works, but it's right there.
Yeah,
you
it's
know?
just
it's
right.
there.
We're right on the cusp.
I would say
what needs to happen?
Parsec's at like 97%.
Parsec
saying is they need to hire those guys,
Parsec's
and then
really-
they need to
really
find
fast.
one more.
Parsec's phenomenal. I use that for mobile, like off-site editing, video editing, that's really good.
It's why though Phil Spencer has said, because I do think it is two different types of users. So for instance, I'm not doing if I'm gonna plug this upstairs in my TV upstairs. I'm probably only going to use it like when I'm going to bed to play it, but I'm doing my big boy gaming on my big boy machine, right? Like so definitely is a different type of user. But that's why Phil Spencer in the not mobile, but a portable gaming device, he said that it has to have the ability to play a game locally. Like it's one of his musts. It's like, yeah. So yeah, I think serves its purpose. But I think overall it's going to help expand Game Pass for sure.
Oh, 100%. It's what it's for. I think it's too. Yeah. I mean,
Speaking of that, so can I explain my new setup to you guys? I have a 48-inch LG C4. It's fantastic. And I just hooked up
TV.
So I got a new soundbar, but I put my new soundbar up on my TV upstairs. And my old soundbar that I had up there, which is pretty decent, I connected to my TV, so it's like floating underneath. It's great. It's a great setup.
Cool.
But, so now that I'm downstairs, I got it full set up down there in the basement, away from the kids. I fired up Cyberpunk 2077.
Oh, cool.
That game's very adult. I could not play that game in front of kids. Even just the opening screen now, I was shocked. I was like, whoa. And I know what to expect.
Walking down the street in that game. Something magical.
My wife was sitting next to me when I fired up. I was like, this is a game we're going to play. And she was like, oh my gosh. And it's just on the loading screen.
yeah, the beginning when it goes through like the news.
But it does look good. And I'm actually going to start over.
Well, we were talking about it. It's a shame what happened to that game. And I hope that CD Projekt Red doesn't like give up on that universe, because it's actually a really cool setting. Yeah. And like it definitely like it's got a cool look to it. The whole cyberpunk feel.
Oh, it definitely
but I mean,
does.
it's just they've done a lot of work to the game, and the game is in like a pretty good state right now. Like if you were to buy it, I think you'd get your money's worth on newer consoles, because that's where the expansion and stuff is, Phantom Liberty. But I think there is still some like base underlying issues that will just never go away, because that's how it was designed from the beginning. Really. So I really hope they do something else in the Cyberpunk universe, because I think the game, it's just a shame what happened to it. You know,
well,
like is
it the most anticipated game to date?
What do you mean?
Like, remember the hype around Cyberpunk? Everybody wanted.
Well, yeah. It's because of how good The Witcher 3 was, you know.
But no, I don't. I mean, how hyped were you for Red Dead? How hyped for you? There's lots of games that the world stops for.
I mean, you could argue Cyberpunk was one of the most hyped to most hated, because it was just broken. The only reason we were able to play it is because the machines just brute forced it.
Yeah, that's true.
And it was still like broken, but like at least it worked.
I'm playing it. I don't know why you can't play it.
Yeah, like just our machines brute forced it, but
was most of the problem at launch with Cyberpunk just that it was?
Well, most of the problem is the fact that the game wasn't done.
No, I'd say
and it kept getting delayed, right? That was like the third delay that we were on.
It just straight up wasn't done.
I would say the biggest problem was it didn't play on the consoles that they released it on.
Yeah, the old ones.
I would say that's the big.
Because if you had Series X or PS5, you were okay. There was some issues, but you could it brute forced it. Yeah. The old ones were just.
If the game was unfinished, you could still play it. But they released it on consoles that could not play the game. That was the biggest problem.
Yeah, that's the game I'm going back to right now. So should be fun.
Yeah.
Let me tell you though.
Yeah, no, if you actually start playing that game at Phantom Liberty, which I believe they give you a choice, that's, I believe, actually the best way to experience the game.
Wait, so you don't think you should play the main story? The original main story?
I think you should afterwards, but because when I was playing through the first sequence of Phantom Liberty, it was like, whoa. All right, they sat down and said, hey, let's make a game. Whereas before, I think they sat down and said, hey, let's make a game, but we can't finish it.
Whoa.
Like the first mission in Phantom Liberty, when you're going, you go into the new zone and you kind of do the new mission, and it kind of all ends up in this cool boss. Like, you could tell they called in the level designers for that one.
Yeah.
Like, they called in the guys.
Yeah,
they said, hey, you did the Bloody Baron quest. Come make a quest for us real quick. You know, and that guy just went to work. As the kids say, he cooked.
He cooked. Okay, maybe I'll start with Phantom Liberty.
Yeah, I would. If you're going, I mean,
do you miss out on?
No, because it wasn't done.
Like Johnny Silver?
Well, there is a couple cool Johnny Silverhand moments in the. I would start. I believe they give you the choice to start at Phantom Liberty. I would start there because you still have Johnny Silverhand, and you also have what's his name, Idris.
Here's the thing, though. The last time I listened to everybody's advice, I blew through Starfield to get to the end, and that was incorrect.
Phantom
David
Liberty
just asked for your advice and then said, "You know what?
No.
Last time I took your advice, it was stupid."
Phantom Liberty is a far better designed gaming experience than the base game. Now, the base game has vastly improved since launch, but there's only so much you can change.
Yeah.
I'm not saying the base game, you won't have fun in parts of the base game. You will, but Phantom Liberty is a far superior.
All right. Regardless, I'm excited because even on that opening, Jordan was there watching me on the opening screen there. It's like, oh, okay, cool. It has like it's got a vibe, man.
Yeah, no, it is. And it's a shame what happened to the game, and I hope they don't give up on that series. I know, aren't they currently working on like another Witcher game?
Yeah.
I hope they don't give up on it. I hope we get Cyberpunk 2078. Yeah.
Jordan, are you playing any games?
Been playing a lot of Elden Ring. And then tomorrow is the first current expansion that we get on Xbox for Final Fantasy.
Yeah, let's throw up some Elden Ring there. Spicy, have you had a chance to jump in Elden
Shadow
Ring?
of the Erd Tree.
Okay, I have a friend who beat it already.
Already? Wow.
Took him 80 hours.
Wait. Has it even been out for 80 hours?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
It's been out for a while.
Like the game or the expansion?
That's a good question because I asked. No, I asked.
Because I think
him
the expansion is like
to
only
beat.
30 to 40 hours. I guess like he was probably doing what I've done.
I think he said 80.
I've
I'll pull it up.
to every nook and cranny of like that first zone.
But I've watched gameplay. I've watched a lot of people play it. It looks legit. Do you see the CEO of crap? Why can't I think of the name? What's
From Software?
Helldivers. See what he said about people. People complaining it's too hard. He said when you make a game for everyone, you make a game for no one. Ooh. Yeah. Ooh. Yeah.
No, I think a lot of the look. I will say, Elden Ring always get every time a From Software game comes out. You're always going to have it's too hard. They should have accessibility. They should have an easy mode. Blah blah blah. Right? It's just it's not. The reason the Souls games are so popular is because there's a difficulty to them. Right? Everybody's on the same playing field. Right? Now, I actually think the big argument is accessibility. I actually think difficulty and accessibility are two completely separate things, but we won't get into that. That being said, the DLC is a step up in difficulty from the base game for sure.
Yeah.
There are some bosses that I even have complaints about. I think they're a little bit too aggressive. And what I mean by that is because they've had aggressive bosses before, and I don't think there's anything wrong with aggressive bosses, but the problem is they're so aggressive that you're not able to learn the fight. And I think that's kind of a design flaw. Like you go in and it's done and over. It's like, okay, well, I didn't and that happens, but it's almost, they're so aggressive. There's no time to learn the fight. And I think that's unneeded difficulty, if that makes sense. Like that's where kind of things get annoying.
But if you make a game for everyone,
no, you make a game for no one. No, that being said, I mean, I've had there's always going to be bosses that people like better than other people.
Sure.
Like even in the base game, there's certain bosses that I don't like. Like for example, I hate that stupid bull at the friggin' top of the mountain. I just don't like that boss.
Friggin' bull.
Yeah, Mark, you remember that guy?
I know exactly.
Is he a
what you're
bull or a
talking about.
minotaur?
I don't know what he is. I hate him. He's a bullatar. So. No, but what's really fun about this game, and I think as time goes on, things will get easier because people will, perfect builds. Like, for example, there's birds in this game that were incredibly annoying, but then you learn how to fight them properly, and you're like, oh, they're actually incredibly easy once you understand what they do.
Yeah, that's cool.
So, and that's...
Don't you think that's just good game design, though?
No, that is.
Yeah.
I think as a whole right now, where I've not completed the expansion, I've been out of town, so I've really only gotten to play like super hardcore the last few days, but I think the expansion is so far really good. I do have my issues with certain bosses being a little bit too aggressive. I'm okay with the new leveling system. I wish it was a little bit more in depth, but I mean, it's not terrible or anything for an expansion. and like
cha-
always,
Do they change up the leveling?
so it's just different leveling. So you go to the Shadow Realm basically,
see.
and in the Shadow Realm you can buy
level.
Well, there's not your own level, but you can find things that level up your damage negation and damage output, and it's just like a baseline level up. So, and then you can also find other things that level up your summons, because I actually think they're really encouraging you to use summons in this expansion. So it's a fine leveling system. I know I was reading some people don't like it because it makes you kind of have to explore. I actually find that to be one of the best parts of these games.
Yeah.
Souls games. Even like going back to the linear Dark Souls, like when you find a new room or a new path, it's just a really cool feeling.
Yeah.
This being an open world, it's super fun to explore, getting items. So I like the fact that it encourages you to explore. I just wish it was more, I don't know, there's something about like leveling up your stamina, vigor, faith, arcane. Like it's not as in depth as the previous leveling system, although that's still there because you can still level up and get your runes and all that stuff. It's a middle of the road. I don't hate it. I don't love it.
This dude's ponying up with his big hammer.
Yeah.
Wouldn't you say it made, even though it's simplified, it allows the soft caps and hard caps to remain the same?
Yes.
while
It does do that. Yeah.
So-
Which is why I'm not saying I have a better leveling system. I miss the build aspect, of it, like going through all your stats, getting, because right now I'm at the point where runes really don't matter on this particular character anyway, other than like I take all my runes and I go back to the round table and I buy a bunch of materials for leveling up weapons. So I guess they matter in that aspect, but I get why they did it, and I'm not saying I have a better idea, but it's just, for me, it's just middle of the road. It's not a terrible system and it's not a great system. It's just, it passes the test and it works.
It probably allowed the game to remain balanced.
No, I think you're right.
And still have an expansion to the way that they had it.
Yeah.
I mean, you're playing. It's hard because it's a DLC, so you're playing your same character, and they still have the same soft caps and hard caps intact. So you hit those a long time ago on your character.
On this particular.
So
character,
how else would you suggest?
No, yeah, and that's what I'm saying. I don't know. I don't have a better idea. So I mean, this is what we got. I think what I miss is when they're called skidoo. I call them skadoosh.
Dude,
They're called I don't know what the proper name is, but they're called skadoosh fragments. That's what I call them.
Kung Fu Panda coming in.
So that sounds like so they're called skadoosh fragments, and you find them, and it's you need 1 to level up, then you need 2, then 3, then 4, and then you can get for your ashen summons, same thing. I think what I miss is when you were playing, especially more towards the early game, and you leveled up your strength 2 or 3 times, and then your vigor 2 or 3 times, you felt it. Like you felt getting more powerful.
You hadn't hit the soft cap yet.
I don't feel it when I get these. Like, yes, I can see the number, because you can see the numbers of your damage negation and damage output that's boosting, but I don't feel it.
Okay.
And I think that's where it's kind of like, and that may be why I like just the standard leveling better, but I'm also at the point in standard leveling where because I'm basically almost capped out at certain things. You don't really feel it either, but you get does that make sense? Mm-hmm. So, but it's okay. It's like I said, I don't hate it. I don't.
Even just watching this, though, the world is so cool, and that's
the other thing
of bad guys,
and that's what they do. We the vibe check, whatever you want to call it. When you walk into a zone or a world, it's just like the first game when you went through the tutorial and you opened that gate and you were all of a sudden in Limgrave. You saw the tree in the distance, castle, and you're just like, holy crap, this is a world that I want to explore. They did the same thing in here. You basically touch an egg sac and you go to the expansion. You run up these stairs, which is through like this tunnel, and then boom, it's like almost the same vista. You're seeing this like crazy
new world,
almost ghostly graveyard with a shadow tree and a castle. It's like and you get that feeling and like, oh man, I'm excited to explore this. And that's what they do good at. Overall, if you're an Elden Ring fan, I think the game is well worth. This expansion is well worth the $40. I think people are saying 30 to 40 hours, like on a completion. But if you're doing like what your friend did or what I'm doing, just like, you can spend a lot of time here.
Yeah. Let me pull it up because maybe
I think From Software does it right. I I know there are people out there that are, I think people are torn. People are okay with the difficulty. People like, I know there's some YouTubers that love the difficulty of learning the bosses, learning the mechanics, taking that time and then just perfecting your fight. I know some people are upset because it's definitely a step above the base difficulty. I think it's definitely harder, but I think it's fine because it's that formula of learning, building. I think what From Software can do to help alleviate this is make it, and Mark, I'll see what you think about it because I know some people will disagree with me on this. I think what From Software should do is make it in their next game or whatever, make it easier to respec your character. I don't think that takes away anything from the game, and I think it makes it so like, okay, this build isn't working, but what if I try, dual swords or dual this or because honestly that's kind of half the fun. I don't think it takes away. I think it's just like adding Stakes of America. Running back to the boss it was just annoying. Adding a Stake of America next to the boss just made it better. I think adding an easier because right now you can only respec with the tiers and they're kind of limited, kind of not. I have a handful of them because I farmed them, but
here's my friend. Shout out to General Mort. He said, I said, how long did it take you? He said, last boss or just in general? He said, DLC took me about 80 hours.
Yeah, nice. You got it.
Last boss alone was around 5 hours of attempts, lots and lots.
And I have heard, I don't know who it is because I like going into these games blind, but I have heard the last boss is a doozy.
A doozy. I mean, I watched, who's the streamer, the big streamer, what's his name? He's the biggest currently.
I don't know.
Kai.
Oh, when he was playing Elden Ring, just like the base game.
Yeah, and he
was.
He brought in a therapist like 2 days ago. It was hilarious to talk him through.
Well, what was funny
hilarious.
is he. So when going to the base game of Elden Ring, he would not leave the first tree sentinel alone until he beat it.
So
and it's like
you just skip that guy.
You're supposed to skip that guy.
I know because I did the same thing. Because I was like, oh, well, if I can fight anyone, I want to fight this dude, and then I kept dying. Wait, the first tree sentinel is the dude on the horse.
Yeah, the very first one, right when you walk out. Yeah,
night that you come out.
Yeah,
but and then his Melania but I don't know. That's what that game is about. Just I don't know. It's just I get that games have difficulty modes, and I'm not against that. But there's something about From Software games like. I like the idea of everybody's on the same playing field. Some people have better builds that work out better. Some people don't. So, and Miyazaki explained it a while ago when he was asked about difficulty modes. He basically wants everybody to have the same conversation. Like when we talk about Melania, we both understand Melania because we both had to do it the same. Well, not the same way, but we both had to do it. Like there was no difference.
That is cool.
I don't know. It's a really game. If you're an Elden Ring fan, I think you'll enjoy it.
I need to retire so I could just play games.
We just talked about a game that charges you $70 and then a bunch of microtransactions, and it may or may not be worth it. This game, you get your money's worth. $40 for the expansion. If you want to support them, you get like the bigger pack or whatever. And that comes with a couple extra emotes. And it's just, you get, at a minimum, you get 30 to 40 hours of gameplay.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that's not, in my opinion, that's an expansion, not
Spicy,
a DLC.
will you be jumping into this?
Oh, 100% yes. I'm trying not to be spoiled. I'm trying to go in completely blind. So I didn't watch any streams or anything like that. This is the first time I've had knowledge on the game was Jordan's discussion. So, but yes, 100%. I've already purchased it. It's already installed.
Ooh.
Yeah. I did it a while ago, and I'm just waiting for the right time.
Are you just waiting for your...
yeah, it's a heavy game.
To feel it, be in the right spot mentally to play this game? Yeah.
Yeah, it's a heavy game, meaning it's not a game where... I can just play for 10 minutes. I have to have time to sit down and play. And that's the whole thing that's stopped me from playing up to this point.
Yeah.
It's not a...
It's just, it's such a good fantasy game. Getting new weapons, it's just, it's a well-crafted game.
Yeah, there you go. Let's do some super chats before we get out of here. Spicy, actually, have you jumped into anything? You were on vacation, so you're just recovering this week, I'm sure, getting caught up.
Oh, I'm slammed again. I'm so slammed with work.
Yeah, but we will be doing Elden Ring, it sounds like, once
Yeah.
you get into a good spot.
Yeah. I need to be in a good spot mentally for this game. It's-
Actually, I think, like, if we play co-op, so co-op inflates the boss health, but
oh, they counterbalance it? That they make it more?
they did that in the original, too.
I had no idea.
Yeah, so that's why it's like, I'll do this one on my own. Sometimes it's a little bit easier.
That makes sense, though.
Now, I don't know if the boss hits are, but I do know for sure, like, the boss has more health or whatever. Like, your hits aren't as strong. But the idea is, like, there's 3 people hitting them instead of 1. So, you know. I actually think with our, because I'm kind of a male. I actually have a cheesy build. It's freaking great.
Bleed build?
No, what I did is I got tired. So, all right, I'll just say it. I'm not the best at dodging, okay? So what I did is I found a freaking tower shield, and I got a piercing weapon. So what you can do with a tower shield and a piercing weapon is a tower shield you can hold in front of you, but if you have a piercing weapon, you can poke at them through the shield.
You can thrust
without, thrusting, whatever, thrusting weapon. You can poke at them through the shield without putting your shield down. And I got the fingerprint shield that you get in the base game, which is basically a giant rock. Mm-hmm. And that thing don't move. So basically what happens is I just stand right in front of the boss and he swings at me and I just
take it.
I just poke him.
You just
Death
take
by
it.
1,000
Yeah,
pokes.
I just poke him. I don't care if it takes an extra 5 minutes. I just poke him. It's great. It's been doing really well for me.
We got some super chats. Mr. Cooper dropped 5 gifted XoneBros memberships and also has been a wingman for 43 months. He says, "What's up, everybody?" Mr. Cooper, thank you very much. What's up? Appreciate the 5 gifted memberships. And Super Shocker also gifted 5 XoneBros memberships. Appreciate for the support. Everybody that got a membership, hit that refresh. You probably got a nice little loyalty badge next to your name there. Drop some BFFs in chat. And that does us for this episode, everybody. This episode this week. Stay tuned.
Nice.
Stay tuned. Go play some games. Have fun. We do have the after show after this for our members only. So if you're listening after the fact, you can come over to YouTube if you're a member and check out the show. That's where we just mess around, tomfoolery, talk directly with chat. So come join us. It is our members only after show. Have a great week, everybody. Play some games. Oh, play Forza Horizon 4 if you don't own it on Game Pass, because that's going away soon. It's being delisted. See you next time.
That's news.
Yeah. Yeah.
You actually can still play it. You just won't be able to buy it. The servers are staying up. It's just being removed from the store.
It's reverse. If you buy it, you'll still be able to play it. If you don't own it, you won't be able to play it.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
The servers are staying up.
Yeah, if you own the game. Yeah. If you don't own it, it's on Game
Did
Pass.
I not say that way? How did I say it? I thought I said the servers are staying up, so...
You said you can still play it. The servers are staying up, but you didn't clarify that it was.
well, I said it won't be on the stores anymore. I swear... I don't know what I said, but yeah, we got
Yeah,
there.
that's exactly what you said.
It's not going to be on the store,
Yeah, but
you can still play the game.
Yeah, but under that sentence, it seems like if I have it on Game Pass, I could still play it. No, you have to own it.
Oh, you have to buy
I'm
the
just
game.
adding the asterisk. To clarify, you have to own it.
Okay. All right, we got there. All right,
All right,
thanks,
see you
everybody.
guys.